Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Cinema Chat, my weekly movie podcast that has taken a little bit of a hiatus these past few weeks, but yeah, so the reason for the hiatus, right? There is a very, very good reason for my little hiatus. One, the week of 4th of July happened, and well, if you don't know this about me, my full-time job is working in retail, and so anytime there's a holiday and retail do not go well together. And then last week I did a live stream with Ryan from RDBR movie Reviews and Anthony from Anthony's Horror and More, where we discussed the Insidious franchise. To celebrate the release of the newest Insidious movie, Insidious the Red Door. So that took the place of my podcast for the week because that live stream was like 2.5 hours. So yeah, I felt like that was a good substitution. So check that out. Listen to us talk about our favorite horror legend around, the breathing apparatus guy. That was an amazing joke that came out of that 2.5 hour live stream. That's probably my favorite live stream I have ever done. So much fun. A lot of really funny, good moments in that live stream. But anyways, we return to Cinema Chat today in episode 9. And I am a little bit late on this, but I wanted to discuss my best and worst movies of the year thus far, as well as some movies that surprised me and some movies that disappointed me, right? Because, well, as soon as we hit July 1st, we're halfway through 2023, and so I feel like it's a good time to stop and go ahead and talk about it thus far. So give you a little bit of a sneak preview for what my rankings will be come December when I do my inevitable end of the year lists. But yeah, that is the topic of discussion today. So you know what, I feel like starting off positive today, so let's talk about the best movies of the year thus far. And I'm debating whether I should do a top 3 or top 5. I'm gonna go ahead and do top 5 for best and worst, and then I'll just give some picks for surprising and disappointing, I guess. So, as of right now, the time I'm recording this, July 17th, 2023, this is my list as of right now. My 5th favorite movie of the year thus far, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. The MCU has been extremely rough these past few years. Pretty much ever since Endgame, the MCU's been pretty rough, right? Now, I adore the MCU. I mean, if you've watched any of my movie reviews and you look at my shelves behind me, at the very top, right above my head, what do I got? I got the Avengers Collection 4K Steelbook with 2 Avengers Funko Pops. I mean, I got props of the Thanos Gauntlet, Stormbreaker, Mjolnir, Cap's shield. Like, I live and breathe the MCU. I adore it. It is the best franchise to ever be created. And so, just with the amount, especially of MCU content we've gotten recently, and just a lot of it being okay, has been extremely disappointing and extremely frustrating for me personally, because I am someone where I'm like, hell yes, the MCU. I used to get so excited when a new MCU movie comes out, and now, like, I'm just kind of, yeah, I'll go see it, which is really frustrating for me. And I've lost a lot of interest on these Disney Plus shows too, I'll be completely honest. Like, right now, Secret Invasion, I haven't watched any of it, and 4 episodes are out, and that is a big problem for me, where I don't watch something of the MCU, right? So, extremely rough spot for the MCU right now. But Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 felt like a classic MCU movie of just something that would have come out in Phase 3, it feels like, right? Just this is the type of MCU movie that I want. I want the MCU to be giving us quality movies like Guardians Volume 3, right? Not Love and Thunder, whatever the fuck that is. Anyways. But yes, Guardians Volume 3, I thought it was a fantastic send-off to these Guardians characters. I thought it was a great close to this trilogy. I thought the High Evolutionary was a great villain. Yeah, this is one of the few movies I've gone and seen twice in the theater. I thought this movie was incredible, and I really enjoyed it. I really dig how you dive into Rocket's backstory. This is one of the darkest MCU movies. I was going to say darker and then changed my word to darkest mid-word. But anyways, yeah, I just thought the way they handled Rocket's backstory was incredible here. Just all around, on a story level, I thought it was great. I thought the humor was great. The action was really good. Everyone talks about that hallway scene with No Sleep Till Brooklyn playing. Great scene. I didn't love it as much as everyone else, but hey, I still thoroughly enjoyed it. So, yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. If you've been burnt out on the MCU recently, I'd definitely give it a shot because it just feels like good old classic MCU. All right, coming in fourth place is going to be Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. Is there a Part 1 on here? I don't know. I think the next one's called Beyond. So maybe it's not Part 1 anymore. But anyways, the newest Spider-Verse movie, right? So I'm someone that really likes the first Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie. But I find that movie slightly, maybe not slightly, a tad bit overrated. Like a lot overrated. People saying it's like their favorite movie or best comic book movie of all time. Like, nah, shut the fuck up. Like, no way. Into the Spider-Verse gets to some of the levels of like shit like The Dark Knight. Like, no way. Like, I don't understand. I can't even comprehend that. And, you know, after seeing Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, I thought this movie was incredible. I loved this movie. I thought it was better than the first one. On almost every single level, I think this movie is better. I thought the story was more interesting. I liked just the animation in this one better. I liked the story in this one better. Just everything about this movie I thought was better than the original Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie. And this, it is in tough competition with No Way Home, but this might be my favorite Spider-Man movie. I thought this movie was great. I am one of those people that has been like, Across the Spider-Verse, this movie's incredible. You should definitely go check it out. I loved it. I can understand all the praise that it was getting, and I certainly agree with a lot of it. I thought this movie was great. It's just so good. It's so hard to describe what makes it so good, too. It's so awesome, but yeah, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, that was a great film. Coming in third place, one of the biggest box office disasters of all time. That is going to be The Flash. Oh my god. The fact that this movie is making, like, no money whatsoever, is mind-boggling to me. Like, if you asked me how much money I thought this movie was going to make, I would have bet body parts this movie was going to make a fuck ton of money. I was scrolling through Twitter the other day, like, looking at my old tweets. I distinctly remember tweeting, like, a year ago, like, dude, why would you not release The Flash? Like, it's going to make Warner Brothers $1 billion. I swear, I thought this movie was going to make $1 billion, and here we are. It's maybe made $300 million. Like, this is one of the biggest box office disasters of all time. That is insane. This movie has had so much criticism, so many people saying that they don't like it, and to me, I don't get it. I thought this movie was amazing. As a Flash movie, it is incredible. Like, just without the multiverse stuff, I think it tells an amazing Flash story. And then all the multiverse stuff is secondary. It's like the icing onto the cake. It does the multiverse shtick right to where multiverse isn't the focus of your movie. It's not there as a crutch for your movie. You take all the multiverse stuff out, this movie is a very, very strong movie as is. You add in all the multiverse stuff, it just makes it that much better. And when I say multiverse stuff, of course I'm talking about Michael Keaton's Batman. Like, what else would I be talking about, right? This guy is... he might be my favorite Batman. You know, it's close between him and Christian Bale. I have way more nostalgia for Christian Bale's Batman, but I love Michael Keaton, man. I love him as an actor. I love 99% of the movies he does. And yeah, seeing him again as Batman was amazing. It made me so happy to see him back. But yeah, just as a movie, it's great. It's got great action, great story, a lot of emotions, all that stuff. The biggest negative towards this movie is the CGI. It does not look good. There is no excuse for a movie with like a $200 million budget to have CGI look like it was made on a, I don't know, laptop that's 50 years old. Like, the CG does not look good. I've never done CGI before. I bet you I could look up a YouTube tutorial, make better CGI than they had in this movie. It is terrible in parts. Like, it just looks goofy and doesn't look real, and I've seen all the defenses of, like, oh, it's supposed to look that way. Like, was it really, or are you guys just defending the crap CGI in your movie? So, I don't know. Yeah, I thought The Flash was incredible. It comes out on 4K in, I think, about a month. I'm definitely going to go get that Steelbook for it because I thought this movie was great. Coming in second place, my bronze medal of the year thus far is Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. The worst theater experience I've had all year. And if you've seen my review, you know how bad my experience was. But strictly about the movie itself, I thought it was great. This is my favorite Mission Impossible film as of this moment in time. It's close between it and Fallout, but they're both great. I mean, this franchise is consistently great, right? Admittedly, I'm not the biggest fan of the franchise. There are just other action franchises that I prefer over Mission Impossible. But I'm not trying to take away, I'm not trying to crap on the franchise. It's just never been one of my favorites, not an action franchise I gravitate towards. But I do really enjoy all the movies. And I just thought this one was excellent, right? It does the part 1 story perfectly, where it's its own story, but it's also part of the bigger whole. Love that. Haley Atwell steals the show in this movie. She is incredible here. The stunts are awesome, especially, the one that we've all been seeing where he drives the motorcycle off the cliff. Thought that was great. It's even better in the context of the film and seeing it in theaters instead of just, at home on my phone or whatever. The whole, train sequence at the end is incredible. We got this car chase in the middle. I thought this movie was great. There were some negatives that I said towards this movie, and I don't really remember them. Now that I'm, talking about it. I know I had them in my review, so go and check out that review. But yeah, I thought this movie was great. I loved it. I really want to go see it again. And it is my second favorite movie of the year. But coming in first place for me, and is the only movie I've given a 5 out of 5 to this year. I don't give out 5 out of 5s very often. I think I only gave out 2 last year, and I saw 103 movies. Thus far, I've seen 66 movies, sorry. I've seen 66 movies this year. One of them has a 5 out of 5 right now. And that is John Wick Chapter 4. Come on. Yeah. In my review, I gave it 4.5. Over time, I bumped it up to 5. I just love this movie. I love this franchise, right? I give John Wick 1, 2, and 4 all 5 out of 5s, and I give John Wick 3 a 4.5 out of 5. It is an incredible franchise. It's one of my favorite franchises of all time. Definitely up there. It's top 3 easy franchises for me. It is my favorite action franchise. I just love these movies, man. love them. All of them. Like, I have, like, no complaints about any of these movies. But yeah, John Wick 4, amazing. Amazing action, amazing cinematography, great world building. And going back to the action, right? It's practical stunt work. Like, it actually happened, right? They're actually doing these things. It's not, oh, let's just fake a bunch of stuff. Like, no, they actually choreographed all this stuff and figured out how to actually do it, and it's actually like Keanu Reeves doing it. So it just looks incredible. Doesn't look goofy like The Flash, right? I mean, the ending to this movie is so amazing, and just the announcement that they're gonna do a John Wick 5, I don't know how to feel about it, right? Because, of course, I'll be there day one. Of course, I'll be excited for it. Of course, I'm sure it'll be great. But will it compromise this movie and how it wraps up? I guess we will find out. I'm fine with doing spin-offs. You know, Ballerina, Continental, do that shit. That is awesome, badass ideas. John Wick 5, don't know how to feel about it. But yeah, John Wick, one of my favorite characters. Like, movie characters love the character of John Wick. Clancy Brown in this movie, that's awesome. Bill Skarsgård here as your villain's great. Of course, you get Ian McShane. You get Lawrence Fishburne. Like, you get all those awesome characters from the first 3 movies back. So, John Wick Chapter 4 was my second most anticipated movie of the year, behind the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, which, oh my god, I am so excited for. I hope Five Nights at Freddy's can crack my top 10 of the year. I would be devastated if that movie sucks. I will cry if that movie sucks. But yeah, John Wick Chapter 4. I was so excited for it, and it absolutely delivered for me. So, it is currently sitting at my favorite movie of the year. It has been since I saw it. And really the only movie that I would say came close to taking it over is Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. So, I've only seen 66 movies, though. We're about halfway through the year. We got about 66 more to go, probably. So, it could get dethroned. It could. All right. I'm going to take a quick drink, and then we'll get started on the worst of the year. All right, I'm back from my drink break. And then I burped. That is inappropriate. Anyways, top 5 worst films of the year. The movies that I disliked the most that I've seen thus far. Coming in 5th place, Marlowe, the Liam Neeson movie about noir Philip Marlowe guy. I don't know. I think Philip Marlowe is like a character. I think this is kind of a remake if I remember it correctly, but goddamn, this movie was boring. It was nice to see Liam Neeson do something that's not one of these shitty action thrillers that he decides to do all the time, and like do something different. He is a fantastic actor, Liam Neeson. Like 2 or 3 days ago, I just watched Batman Begins again, right? I'm watching through all the Nolan movies for Oppenheimer this week. He's incredible in that. A few months ago, I watched Schindler's List. He's incredible in that. Like, Liam Neeson is an amazing actor, but he just gets stuck doing Taken 57, you know? Like, we got another one coming out later this year. I'm gonna go see it. Do I expect it to be good? No. But anyways, Marlowe. I was interested because I like crime, thrillers, mysteries, right? I like those types of movies. And I was intrigued seeing Liam Neeson do something different instead of just Taken 3. Or, there is a Taken 3. We'll take Taken 57 again. I wanted to use a different number and then said 3, so that was kind of stupid of me. But yeah. And you watch the movie, it is the most boring movie I have seen all year. One of the most boring movies I've seen all year. There are quite a few boring-ass movies I've seen this year. And let me tell you, one of my least favorite things a movie can do is bore me. You know, like, you can be a shitty movie, and I can have fun with you and be entertained with how shitty you are. Like, we're not going to talk about it because it's not in my bottom 5, but Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, terrible movie. Absolutely terrible movie. I gave it the exact same numeric score as Marlowe, a 1.5 out of 5. but I can have some entertainment value with how crappy Winnie the Pooh 1 and Blood and Honey is. I get like no entertainment value with how boring Marlowe is. It's just this dumbass investigation that I don't care about because it's so boring. And just the editing on it is so weird too. Like there's this one scene in the beginning where like Marlowe gets confronted by like three men, and then I was like, oh cool, there's gonna be a little action sequence where he fights him. Nope, it just cuts away, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like why would you do that? Ugh. This movie sucked. I hated it. Well, I didn't hate it. I just really disliked it. I hated everything below it now. Okay, number 63, a movie I had no faith in, and against my better judgment, I went and saw it. The Black Demon. What is this movie, you may be asking? It's a shark movie. There you go. There is all my reasoning as to why this movie sucked. I don't know why I do this to myself, but every year I just watch some bad shark movie and I'm just like, maybe it'll be good, you know? Maybe it'll be good. And there never are. Like last year, I think it was The Reef Stalked was the name of it. No, it was bad. Pretty sure it was in my bottom 5 last year too. I don't know. I don't learn, and so I keep watching these bad shark movies. This one, all the same flaws as any other direct-to-streaming shark movie, except I don't know if this was direct-to-streaming. I saw it in theaters, so, But yeah, not good at all. Like, it's tough for me to even talk about these shark movies, right? Because I feel like you just say bad direct-to-streaming shark movie, and everyone just knows the movie. Like, it's just its own subgenre at this point. Like, have you seen Sharknado? It's pretty much that level of quality, right? So, yeah, I don't have much to say on this one. It's bad. Don't watch it. Alright, coming in third place, my bronze medal for the worst of the year thus far is the movie Fear. God damn, this movie is terrible. I thought it looked semi-interesting from the trailers, but it is so bad. So bad. I saw it in theaters. It's about this group of friends that are reconnecting, and they go to this cabin that has witchcraft, and they can't go outside because of, as they call it, the virus, which anyone who has more than 2 brain cells know that, this movie's going to be a commentary on COVID, right? So they're all scared to go outside because of the virus, and they keep talking throughout the whole movie when someone gets possessed by witchcraft of, oh, you're sick. Oh, you're sick. Don't come near me. And there's people like, no, I'm not sick. And as they're like bleeding from their eyes, they're like, I'm not sick. I'm fine. I'm like, the fuck do you mean? There is blood pouring out of your eyes. And you're like, nah, I'm fine. Like, what? What type of rational human being says that? Like, okay. There's one knock against the movie is dumbass characters. Second off, the story here? What? Witchcraft in the bottom of a hotel, and you randomly stumble upon it in the bottom of your hotel, and now your friends are possessed, and it's that might be a half decent plot in a different movie, but if you saw this movie, that's about it. Like, there's nothing interesting that they do with that. The visuals in this movie are terrible. Like, they show the outside of the hotel, and there's like this fog that's supposed to be the virus outside. And so, like, the whole point of the movie is that, like, this witchcraft is, like, trying to get people to leave the cabin, but they don't want to leave because they don't want to get the virus. And then the witchcraft's making them hallucinate stuff. And then they go outside, and then they catch the virus and then die. It's so stupid. It's infuriatingly stupid. And it's so much more aggravating than what I'm saying. I'm getting aggravated by it. And I saw this movie in January. And it still aggravates me 6 months later that I even watched this movie. I paid money to see this shit. God damn, it sucked. And, you know, they never expressly say COVID in the movie, but it's like, okay, we know what you're talking about. Like, just say it already, right? Like, And then they like turn on a TV and there's a new variant of the virus. Like, what does that mean? Like, I don't know. Maybe it means that there's a fucking disease and you're just making a movie about COVID. Like, goddamn. It was just so stupid and infuriating. Like, if you want to make a movie about COVID, just say it. Just have the balls to say it, okay? Like, there's another movie this year called Sick that is written by the guy who wrote Scream, pretty sure, Kevin Williamson. It is a slasher that is a meta commentary on COVID. And they execute it 50 times better because they have the balls to just say the word COVID and make fun of the whole situation, right? Instead of being too scared to say it and just say the virus. Like, it's not even, like, and the reason why it's, like, aggravating me is, like, I'm not trying to, like, it's not like a political thing of, like, yes, let's please talk about COVID more. It's just, like, I'm not interested in a movie about COVID. Just, like, me personally, I kind of just want to, like, move on from that era of life, you know, and just kind of be done with it. But if you are going to do it, like the movie Sick, you need to do something clever with it. And Sick, in my mind, did something clever with it. Fear did nothing clever with it and just did the dumbest shit possible with it. Like, that is the point I'm trying to make, I guess, is that if you're going to use COVID in your movie, okay, do something with it. Make it interesting. Don't just make it like, oh, there's a virus. You're sick. Ah! Like, ah! I should put this movie lower, how aggravated it's making me right now. Okay, let's move on before my blood pressure gets too high. My silver medal for the year is a movie called House Party. I don't know how many people have heard of this movie. Apparently it's a remake. I saw that trailer, I'm like, yeah, that could be a half-decent comedy. This movie sucked. None of the jokes were funny. It is so cringy and unfunny that I was bored. This is one of those movies that was so boring. And the fact that I didn't find any of the humor in this movie funny, I didn't laugh a single time at this movie. I'm just going to put that out there. The fact that I didn't laugh just made all the humor in this movie extremely cringe to me, to where I'll be 100% honest, I thought about leaving this movie. I was so disengaged, didn't care what was happening. There is no story here. The comedy is terrible, like aggravatingly terrible. Like, dude, I think I'm a pretty funny person, right? I bet you I could shit out a better and funnier script than what they did for this movie, okay? Like, my butthole has the power to create a better script than whatever the fuck the people wrote this movie did, right? My butthole is funnier than your movie, House Party. Eat that. But yeah, terrible movie. Pretty sure it's like they throw a party in LeBron James's house or something. I don't know. I don't care. This movie was awful. And again, it's a movie I'm like, why did I pay to see this? But, of course, the absolute worst movie I have seen thus far this year, and God help me if there is a worse movie I have to sit through, that is Children of the Corn 2020. Now, you may be wondering, you just said 2020. Yeah, because that's when this movie had its premiere. This movie was made like 5 years ago, premiered in 2020, and then sat around for 3 years before they released it. Because it was so terrible, they didn't want to release this movie. And goddamn, this is one of the shittiest movies I've ever seen. Like, I don't even like the original Children of the Corn movie, you know, from like 84-ish with Linda Hamilton, right? Excuse me for that yawn. I don't even really like that movie. I think I give that movie like a 2 out of 5. Like, that is not good at all. For the original, supposed to be the best. No, not Children of the Corn. Well, maybe. I refuse to watch this franchise. But anyways, this movie is the same story. So it's already a story I don't like. It's got like a budget that's like half of a direct to streaming service movie. Like the budget in this movie is laughable at how awful it is. Oh my god, one of the stupidest things I have witnessed in a movie in a long time is they decide to make He Who Walks Behind the Rose Groot. Like literally Groot in this movie. It's just cornstalk being that is like 12 foot tall that's got claws and shit. What the hell are we doing here? Oh, that is terrible. That is like one of the multitude of reasons that this movie sucks. Acting atrocious, story atrociouser. Like there is nothing positive I had to say about this movie. And yet I bought the movie on Blu-ray because I'm a dumbass. So yeah. Children of the Corn sucks. Alright, now that we did best and worst, let's just go through real fast. This thing's already 30 minutes. Let's go through some of my favorite, not favorite, most surprising and most disappointing movies of the year, right? So I'm just looking at my Letterboxd list. I'm just going to give some movies that disappointed me. Even though I like the movie Evil Dead Rise was a little bit disappointing to me. I wanted to adore this movie because I love the remake. I thought this movie was good. Sisu was pretty disappointing to me. The trailers just made it look a lot better than it was going to be. And also, let me say, it's been a pretty rough year for movies. Like, Evil Dead Rise and Sisu are my 11th and 12th favorite movies of the year. And they're only at 3.5 out of 5. Like, and I've seen 66 movies. It's just been rough. It's been rough for movies this year. So those two disappointed me quite a bit. What else? Ant-Man was pretty disappointing. Ant-Man and Shazam were both pretty disappointing. 65, that one was really disappointing for me. I'll be honest, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey is disappointing. I wanted that movie to just loop around to being so terrible that it was good, and it just didn't get there. It did not get there. There are individual scenes that got there, but the movie as a whole didn't. I'd probably go, most disappointing movie of the year, I'd probably go Cocaine Bear, honestly. Cocaine Bear, insanely disappointing movie. I wanted to love this movie. The trailers for this movie made it look awesome. I thought the concept was an easy concept for just a dumb, fun movie. This movie just tries to do too much. It tries to do too much character work, too many characters, too many plots going on. Like, it just seemed like such a simple concept to make a really fun movie with. But yeah, it just didn't get there for me. And now let's do some of the more surprising movies of the year. Like movies I didn't think I was going to enjoy that I ended up enjoying. Two that I think are just fine movies. Polite Society, no intention of seeing it, saw it, thought it was alright. Honestly, Magic Mike's Last Dance, the third Magic Mike movie, I went and saw it. I haven't seen the first two, but for a movie about male strippers, you know, to each his own. I'm not into male strippers, but, you know, I guess if you are into male strippers, bet you'd love this movie. I thought it was fine. The movie Chevalier. I had no interest in this movie. I've been seeing the trailers for that forever. I was tired of seeing the trailers. No interest in this movie. Came out, saw it. Thought it was decent. I enjoyed it more than I thought. The movie Megan. Megan was good. I really enjoyed Megan. Didn't really know what to think about it. Trailers kind of looked generic. Yeah. No Hard Feelings was really good. Insidious The Red Door was good, and I was burnt out on the last two, so I was surprised how much I liked this. And then the last three we'll talk about today are going to be Missing. I thought Missing was great. I really enjoyed it. Renfield. I thought Renfield was way better than I thought. I'm not a huge fan of vampire werewolf movies. I thought Renfield was really, really fun. And then Fast X. Honestly, Fast X surprised me with how much I like it. Not a huge Fast and Furious guy, but this one I thought was more grounded than the last two, and it's one of my favorite in that franchise now, honestly. Of the main Fast and Furious films, it might be my favorite. Again, not a big fan of the franchise, not a high bar to get there, but I thought Fast X was a pretty fun, dumb, entertaining movie. So that will do it for me today with my episode of Cinema Chat. Yeah, there you go. There's the mid-year rundown for you. If you'd like to give me your mid-year rundown in the comment section down below, that would be much, much appreciated. Next week's podcast episode, well, you know it. We're going to be talking about another director. We'll be talking about our boy, Christopher Nolan, because Oppenheimer just released. Or not, hasn't released yet. It will release this week. So, yeah, Oppenheimer. I'll talk about his whole filmography. He's a really good director there, Mr. Nolan. So, yeah, we'll talk about him next week. Yeah. So, yep, I think that'll do it. So, as always, everyone, thank you so much for listening, and have a great rest of your day.